Shalawam. It's your brother JAHsh. No, seriously, this your brother Josh, aka Yahweh, aka JAHsh, according to brother Chris. And this is an addendum to the walk that I did. And I wanted to clarify some things based off the fact that it was a little windy. So I don't know if all the words that were spoken were clear. So what I wanted to do was elaborate on the challenge that Talina put forth to all of you sisters out there who are so upset and feel some sort of way about a brother in a relationship with a so-called white girl. And we say so-called because any true studier of the Torah will know that the Crayola classification is not in the Torah as far as dealing with nations. It's not being dealt with by the color of their skin, but by their nation and the spirit behind those particular nations. So I just wanted to elaborate, and I was watching some of the brothers' further videos, as of today, you know what I mean? The one with Tretel, Talina, brother Yahweh, brother Judah, and they touched on some things that I'm also going to touch on because it was on my mind, and I was watching the video and I noticed that Yahweh has us all on the same mind stream, if you will. So what I'm going to do is further clarify that walk, and by doing that, go into a scripture to further clarify some things that we as Torah Knights have been clarifying. So that's a lot of clarity and clarifying. So check it out. All right. So on the walk, I was speaking about the challenge put forth by Talina through the spirit of Yahweh to all the so-called sisters out there, because it's the so-called sisters who are the ones that are filled with such hatred, rage, jealousy, malice, sour will, if you will, about the brother Tretel being in a relationship with her. And they're saying that it's unlawful for her to be in a relationship with Tretel, who is Yasharal, or who is an Israelite by blood. So if y'all haven't noticed already, we Torah Knights have videos and hangouts discussing this already. So I'm not going to go into the scriptures in the Torah that speak that strangers, foreigners, Gentiles who want to cleave to Yasharal and who are willing to abide by the Rawak or Yahweh's spirit within the Torah, then Yahweh does not close the door on them. Period. We know, anyone who really studies the Torah knows that they're never cut off from partaking in the blessings of Israel. And initially, they cannot even perform duties in the tabernacle or the temple initially. But I'm not going to go into that right now. So I just wanted to make this follow-up because I wanted to be clear over what I was stating in the walk. All right? So all you so-called sisters out there, you're not sisters because you don't treat Talina as a sister would, right? being grafted into Israel, she is now basically an Israelite, right? But for some reason, she's not being treated like an Israelite. So all you sisters out there, you true sisters out there who are reluctant to speak up, then, how are things ever going to get better for us? If we are the vanguard and we are the model or the example for other nations to follow, then Angelina has a point. How can she be a brighter light than you, being grafted in? But there's some things I want to touch on this, all right? Check it. As the brother Judah and Tritel were talking about in the video, we're going to go to Numbers, and we're going to see how Aaron and Miriam were vexed at the notion of Moshe being married to an Ethiopian, a foreigner, someone who is not an Israelite. And we're going to see what Yahweh did, right? So Numbers all right. Numbers 12. Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses regarding the Cushite woman he had married, for he had married a Cushite woman. They said, "Was it only to Moses that Yahweh spoke? Did he not speak to us as well?" And Yahweh heard. Now the man Moses was exceedingly humble, more than any person on the face of the earth. So we see here how Miriam and Aaron were fronting, because the real issue was they didn't like the fact that Moses was married to a Cushite. Just like you so-called sisters don't like the fact that Tritel is married to a Gentile, or whom we would consider an Idumean, right? Let's continue. Yahweh said suddenly to Moses and Aaron and to Miriam, "You three go out to the tent of meeting." And the three of them went out. Yahweh descended in a pillar of cloud and stood at the entrance to the tent. And he summoned Aaron and Miriam. The two of them went out. He said, "Hear now my words. If there be prophets among you, in a vision shall I, Yahweh, make myself known to him. In a dream shall I speak with him. Not so with my servant Moses. In my entire house he is the trusted one. Mouth to mouth do I speak to him, in a clear vision and not in riddles. At the image of Yahweh does he gaze." He gazes. Moses looks at the image of Yahweh. That's amazing. "Why did you not fear to speak against my servant Moses?" So Yahweh is speaking to Aaron and Miriam, and he's asking them, why were you not afraid to speak about Moses, whom I talked to face to face? And now I'm talking to y'all face to face, and y'all ain't got nothing to say. Aaron said to Moses, it says, the wrath of Yahweh flared up against him, and he left. The cloud had departed from atop the tent, and behold, Miriam was afflicted with zaras like snow. Aaron turned to Miriam, and behold, she was afflicted with zaras. So she turned like snow. She became white as snow. That's beyond pale. That's beyond pale. What is that called? When the brothers and sisters are born. Man, what's that called? You know what I'm talking about. Not Aboriginal, but anyhow, Anyhow, it'll come to me. But she was white as snow. So this is, for all intents and accounts, an astonishing deed because Miriam was dark. She was dark-skinned. So her becoming white as snow, which in those times was considered leprosy, not like the leprosy of today, where things like body appendages and things are falling off such and such. Back then, leprosy was something similar to that, but it was a form of all sort of skin issues that would bubble forth because of various things, being born into it or because of sin, as in this case. So we see here, Aaron said to Moses, I beg you, my Lord, do not cast a sin upon us, for we have been foolish and we have sinned. Let her not be like a corpse, like one who leaves his mother's womb, and half his flesh having been consumed. So Aaron was speaking to Moses now and looking for favor for his sister, for their sister, right? And he likened to what she was going through to a baby, a premature or a dead birth. You know, that's rough. That's rough, right? So Moses cried out to Yahweh, saying, please, Elohim, heal her now. So Moses called out to Yahweh on account of Miriam to heal her, right? And here it goes. She was quarantined, right? Yahweh said to Moses, were her father to spit in her face, would she not be humiliated for 7 days? Let her be quarantined outside the camp for 7 days, and then she may be brought in. So Miriam was quarantined outside the camp for 7 days, and the people did not journey until Miriam was brought in. Then the people journeyed from Hazeroth, and they encamped in the wilderness. So 7 days, everybody, the whole camp, didn't do anything on account of this happening that happened amongst Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. So all of Israel knew about this. They were like, why aren't we moving? What's happening? You know what I mean? And this is all based off of Moses' brother and sister having a disagreement with Moses based on who he was married to, a foreigner. So what do you so-called sisters have to say out there? Is Yahweh wrong? Elohim forbid. So if Yahweh's not wrong, then that only means you are wrong. And there's no way, and on account of that, we as JAHsh who are paying attention to this issue see that this is the reason why there's no response. There's no accepting of her challenge, because y'all don't have anything to rebuttal with. Because you can't say Yahweh plays the race card. You can't do it. It's not found in the Torah. But that's okay. The challenge is still open. Right? So I wanted to clarify that. And see how you know, I just want to make this addendum to the walk just to be clear. Clarifyingly clear. Praise Yahweh, you know? And so yeah, all you so-called sisters out there who are all upset about these Israelite men being with foreign women, so-called Gentiles, but you can't come with no scriptures to validate that other than just you're emotional about it, which we understand. You know, Torah Knights, we're not oblivious to the fact that we're here in the struggle too. We understand the mental scars and the deep, you know, the anguish of spirit that our people have gone through. You know, we're not oblivious to that. But on the same token, you have to be fair, and you have to approach this not on what you think, but what Yahweh thinks, and how Yahweh approaches this according to the scriptures. right? Because our ways are not like Yahweh's. No matter how much we think like Yahweh, we're just reflections. If we ain't reflecting right, then we got to be turned the proper way, right? A mirror isn't gonna reflect if it's turned around, right? It has to be facing the light. Same with water, right? If the water is covered with ice, then it's not going to properly reflect the sun, right? All you're going to see is ice. So the ice just has to melt. Dig it, you know. That ice on your eyes got to melt so you can properly reflect the light. All right. So here's another abstract thing though, right? Something that I've received in the spirit a couple times, based off what I've seen out in the world, so-called, of these types of scenarios, right? Out in the world, I've seen, you know, and me being a product of it also, right? So you see these so-called women who are with, or I should say these women, right? I'm still on the train of thought of the so-called sisters. But yeah, some of these so-called white women actually have the souls of sisters from long time ago, right? And Yahweh has made them into so-called white women because of the sins of their forefathers, because of some of the things that they experienced in ways that they were acting in the past. Now, this touches on a little bit like reincarnation, this and that, which I'm not going to debate about here. But what I'm saying is something that I received, right? And that not all of them now, not all of them. Some of these Gentiles and people of other nations are legitimately just them. But some of these white women, as along with some of these black men, have spirits of so-called white men and black women of the past, you know, and then they're born again in this time to have to experience some of the things that they brought into the world when they were here last, so to speak, or whenever they were here, because regardless of what, it happens. And this is an issue that I received from Yahweh. You can take it up with Yahweh as far as the validity of that, but it makes sense if you look at it, because some of these grafted in sisters are more knowledgeable and have more wherewithal than some of the sisters who are Israelite by blood. They just do. They have more zeal as far as wanting to, for lack of better words, promote the Torah by Yahweh's will. So, and some of you brothers out there have who are Israel blood, have spirits of other nations. You just do. Hence, all the brothers that we have out here who are Commission. How are you going to be Israelite blood, but you got a Commission soul, right? Some of this stuff is highly abstract for our own minds to try to decipher, but it exists and it's real. You know what I mean? So I want y'all to think about that. Think about that. You know what I mean? Just think about it. Anyhow, I just wanted to make this. All praises to Yahweh God. Hopefully it's not too long, but I just want to go into it. All right? It's your brother JAHsh. It means be quiet, Jah, because Yah is here.
Word, some of that lemon zest. Decompress your chest, the whole camp is a mess. Stressed out niggas pick a joint. Still waiting on the king to anoint. Making sounds like an oink. Oh, don't act like you did.